testimony today.
Yeah, they're telling me they expect to clear it today, in fact, so hopefully we'll be getting it up very shortly.
Well, Dr. Jesse, our second panel, Mr. Weedman, will testify in support of my bill, but he had some criticism of the Office of Management and Budget, arguing that OMB's permanent bureaucracy has been opposed to the program from the onset. What's been your experience as it relates to the oversight of the program?
I apologize, but I don't think I can really speak to that.
Well, have you had an opportunity to look through the bill that I've introduced with Senator Kako, with Senator Burr, with Senator Durbin?
We don't have comments cleared for that, sir.
All right. Do you have any personal comments you'd like to make for it, other than the comments of the Office of Management and Budget?
Well,
now let me just say, I wholeheartedly endorse the Secretary's commitment to homelessness. Let me tell you, OMB doesn't give a shit about homelessness. If they did, this problem would be solved. The Secretary is genuine and passionate about ending it. But if OMB is going to design the program, it's not going to get solved. I'm not soliciting an answer. I'm not asking a question. I'm making a statement that I hope all of you let it penetrate. If we're going to solve this problem, we can't wait for somebody down the street to come up with another bureaucratic solution to a problem that keeps veterans on the streets. We can go home and feel good about the fact that we put a shelter over their head, but if OMB is not willing to release the program to work where the wraparound services provide that veteran everything they need to end permanent homelessness, it isn't going to happen. So, let's quit fooling ourselves, and you might send to the Secretary, he's the only one that can have a conversation with OMB. If OMB is the one that we need to pull up here and not VA, then for goodness sakes, tell the chairman and we'll start pulling OMB up. Mr. Pampern, in a recent opinion, Posey versus Shinseki, a judge from the U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims provided this observation about what happens when an individual tries to appeal to the court, but mistakenly sends his or her notice of appeal to a VA office. It's become clear to me that VA somewhat routinely holds correspondence from claimants that it determines sometime after receipt are notices of appeal to the court. As a result, in far too many cases, the court receives the notice of appeal from VA only after a 120-day appeal period has expired, permitting the Secretary then to move to dismiss the appeal for lack of jurisdiction. First of all, can you give us an idea of how frequently a notice of appeal mistakenly is sent to the VA rather than the court?
No, sir. I am aware that that does happen periodically, but in terms of a hard number, I don't have such a number.
What policies are in place for dealing with a notice of appeal that's mistakenly been sent to the VA?
The letter is to be returned to the veteran and advised as to where he should file it.
Has a written guidance been provided to VA staff on these policies, and if so, can the committee have a copy of that written policy?
Sir, I don't know specifically that, but I will bring that back and we'll provide you with the instructions that have been provided.
Do you know if VA staff is following these policies?
The VA routinely conducts site surveys of its regional offices, each regional office once every 3 years, and an assessment of the performance of the office in terms of compliance with instructions is included in that. I do not recall in the last couple, 3 years, a specific reference that has been identified as an issue.
Last question, Mr. Chairman. Do you think that more should be done to protect the appeal rights of veterans who mistakenly send their notice to the VA versus to the court?
Yes, sir. I think that there are legitimate occasions when the 120-day hard and fast rule needs to be adjusted.
Well, given that you can't cite an instance lately, I'll be more than happy to supply you
Yes.
with some instances that you can look back at. I thank the chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Burr. Senator Begich.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to just make some general comments, then I have 4 questions. I don't think you'll be able to respond to them right now, but I want to put them in because I have to preside here in a few minutes. But this is in regards to a piece of legislation that Senator Grassley and I introduced, which is 3325, which is on the issue of co-payments for telehealth and telemedicine. Obviously, there's a reason why we've introduced it. In Alaska, we see more and more individuals, not only veterans, but other areas utilizing telemedicine and telehealth as a way to do prevention as well as kind of maintenance on some of the health care that's necessary. So what we have found, at least some of our information, but I want to give these questions to you so you can get them back to me, whoever